Right, so I've finally got all the boards back into it and everything connected up again. I've put, instead of putting 1000 microfarad capacitors into the power supply, I've put in 2200 ones because you can fit them in. There's no harm in putting bigger ones into parts of the smoothing on the power supply. In fact, it helps. Or I've recapped the entire motherboard here. Now that was an absolute epic journey, because there are so many different types of capacitor on here, so many different values. Half of them are bipolar or non-polarized, the other half are polarized. There's just millions of them, and the details in the service notes aren't exactly clear because there's only one circuit diagram in there for both types of motherboard, and I think the circuit diagram in there is for the other type of motherboard that I don't have. I'll put some details in the video of my thoughts on what I think what it references in the service notes and what it all means. So we've got everything in, and now the moment of truth, because it hasn't had any power on it for quite a while now, is, will it still work? Okay, push the power button. Yes! Brilliant. Pinch roller comes in, motor comes on. I haven't broken it. Okay, moving on to the next stage then. Right, I have my new tape loop from echofix.com. I'm not sure how it's supposed to loop around, but there is a diagram in here in the manual which I will follow. I'll put that up bigger so you can see it. Okay, this comes out rather long. It's got two sides. There's like a brown side and there's like a slightly darker side. So which side is right? Right, as to the question of which way around to put it, I found the splice. The splice is there and the tape's been put on the darker side, so I'm going to put the browner, lighter side against the heads like that. So I've fed the tape through there, through between the motor and the pinch roller, through this gap here, underneath the tape tension arm, and then around this peg here and that peg there, which seems to marry up with the diagram. Now I'm going to use, I've washed my hands so I don't leave any greasy marks on this. I'm going to wind this in. I'm going to put the cover back on and I'm going to wind it in slowly like this, as the Echofix method says, which should work fine. Right, rather than show you all of it, I'll just show you the last bit as we come in, and hopefully don't snag on anything, please. And there we go, we're in, and that's gone in nicely. I'm going to adjust the pinch roll pressure. I've got this gauge here, which you may or may not be able to see, but it goes up in kilograms. So I'm going to turn the machine on, and it works. Now I'm going to push against the pinch roller till it stops feeding the tape. There. And then we read off how much pressure we had to put on it, or how much weight, and it is reading, if you can see that, about 1.5, about 1.6 kilograms. If we look in the manual, it says it should be between 1.1 and 1.25 kilograms. So we've got a bit too much pinch pressure. So I'm going to move that that solenoid. Remember those 4 screws in here? I'm going to move that solenoid around and see if I can reduce the pinch roll pressure a little bit. So I've shoved the solenoid motor all the way this way, which I think will reduce the pressure. We'll try. Here we go again. Yeah, okay, that's reduced it slightly to somewhere between 1.35 kilograms, let's say. That's still a little bit too much, but that's as light as I can get it. It's probably because there's a brand new pinch roller in there that's super grippy. So that's the best we can do. For the tape tension, I've got another tool here. It's a little, it just deflects and reads up to 50 grams. So let's try the tape tension. I'm not 100% sure how you measure this, so what I'm going to do is just deflect the arm till I see the tension go loose on the tape, about there, which is about 23 grams, which according to the manual you should have 25 to 30, so we could have a little bit more tape tension on there than we've got, so I'll just adjust that a little bit. So when I looked, actually it seems to have been spun round to its max anyway, so I'm just going to make another measurement. Goes loose about there. Yeah, just a little bit over 20 grams. So the tape tension is a little less than it says in the book, but we'll see if it works anyway.